Hello, greetings and welcome. So in this video, I'm going to go into something about Bernardo Kastrup, the way he explains causation. I talk about causation a lot. I noticed in another video I was talking about causality a lot. Now, I'm not really sure if there's a difference between causation and causality, so you'll have to forgive me. But anyway, today I'm calling it causation. So we're going to look at the causation of Bernardo Kastrup. So the idea is, I'll just give a quick review. He thinks that he has this interface model of the world, and it's like you're a pilot in an aeroplane flying in a storm, so you can't see out of the windows, and you have these dials on the dashboard. Now these dials on the dashboard is our interface to the outside world, and what this is an analogy of is our experience. So inside my head, not necessarily inside my head, but my mind has this barrier between my mind and the mind at large. So in idealism, everything is mind. I've got my restricted mind, which is a disassociation of the mind at large, and I'm disassociated from other people. They're disassociated from me and from the mind at large as well, like alters in somebody with multiple personality disorder, dissociative disorder, identity disorder. So we have this interface. We don't actually see reality as it is. It's simplified so that we can understand it, as described by Donald Hoffman, who says that it's evolutionary better for things, sentient beings, creatures, to not see reality really as it is. We need some sort of interface to simplify it so that we can interact. He gives the example of a computer desktop, and you can manipulate the desktop, but you can't manipulate the chips inside the computer. If you opened up your computer, it would be impossible. So we've evolved this interface so we can reproduce basically and survive and protect our offspring so that our genes continue. So that's this interface that's evolved. And in Bernardo Kastrup and Donald Hoffman, they both see the interface as time and space being part of the interface. So what we see here now is the interface, and this is time and space and other things, so that we can get around in the real world and reproduce, etc. So and the real world is mind at large. It's just more mind. Now so because of this, so time is part of our interface. Time doesn't really exist. We impose it on reality so that we can understand it a bit simpler. Now, so when he's talking about causation, what he says is that, so imagine we have things. So we have, I'm going to do the whole snooker ball analogy again. So snooker ball hits another snooker ball and that moves. So there's this causation. One thing causes another thing to happen. That's happening on our interface. And he says that there is not actually any direct causation between the two objects. So the first snooker ball doesn't cause the second snooker ball to happen, or it's what's actually happening is, for example, you've got in the dashboard, you have two dials. Now, one dial is measuring air pressure, and one dial is measuring humidity. So you're flying the aeroplane. Now, enter a place where it's the air pressure goes up, yeah, so or down, I'm not sure. So basically it gets less dense, and because it gets less dense, air flows in and the humidity rises. Okay, so I'm not sure if I've got that the right way around. I'm not a pilot, but basically that's what happens. You know, the air heats up or cools down, and more air comes in with more liquid in the air, more humidity, or the air pressure increases, this kind of thing that's going on. So there's things that are going on outside the airplane. Now, so when on your dials, you see on one dial the air pressure go up. Now, when that goes up, the cool air flows in, and with holding humidity, and so the humidity dial goes up as well. Now, we would think that dial caused the other dial to move. This is in our interface. That's all we see. We see one dial moving and then another dial moving. So it's like the snooker ball moves and the second snooker ball moves. But what's actually happening is that they're both measuring things behind the dissociative barrier. So things going on out there are causing these things to happen, or these things are reading what is going out there. Maybe there's no causation. Now, so this link that we think exists, which we see in our world of things causing other things, isn't actually there. The things come directly from reality and make both things happen. Now, so that's the explanation. I'll go into a few more ideas while I'm on the subject of causation. Just some, there's one that comes from Alan Watts. So Alan Watts says there's a hole in a fence and a cat walks past, and you see the head, and then you see the body, and then you see the tail. And every time, and then the cat turns around and walks back, and you see the head, body, tail. And then he turns around and walks back, head, and tail. And you could say, well, the head always comes first, and then there's a tail, so the head is causing the tail to happen. But we know it's not the case. Here, we know, when we know what's actually going on, we see that there is no causal relation between these things. Another way that you can look at it is the movement of the seasons. So it's spring, summer, autumn, winter. Now, if you're thinking about causation, you could say, oh, well, spring causes summer to happen, doesn't it? So that's what's going on. You know, spring causes summer to happen because it happens every year. And then summer always causes autumn to happen, and autumn causes winter to happen. We know that's not the case. We know that these things, they're patterns that are occurring, and we're imposing some sort of causal link between them. When we talk about things outside time, in the present moment, things arising in the present moment, as David Bohm talks about, unfolding from the ground of being, the unlimited, unfolding into this world that we see. The causation is, we are the material cause of everything. We are what everything's made of, the consciousness, the mind. Not in David Bohm's idea, but that's Advaita Vedanta. But so in David Bohm's idea, this unfolds in the moment. It happens, and we make assumptions about what is causing what, in the same way that we do with the cat walking past the hole, or the seasons. But in fact, it is arising in the moment, caused by the moment. Like in a dream, you are the thing that's causing everything to happen. When one snooker ball hits another snooker ball in the dream, it's not the it's not the first snooker ball that's causing the second snooker ball to move. You're causing everything to happen in every moment. You're sustaining it and creating it, and it is made of you. And that is the idea here, that the mind that we are is, the mind of God, the mind at large, is the thing that's causing everything to happen. Now, I've moved away from Bernardo Kastrup's analogies, and he's talking about something, from his analytic idealism, and this is his explanation of why we see causation in the world. These other things are just more about how to escape this idea that things are caused from the past. Instead of that, things can be caused in the present, and not dependent on this flow of time. So there we go. I hope that was useful. I know I'm repeating a lot of this causation stuff, but this time it's causation instead of causality. I hope that makes it nice and fresh. Anyway, I thought I'd just give that little bit about Bernardo Kastrup, which I thought was an interesting way he looked at causation. So, thank you very much. Goodbye.